Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny and today we're going to go through my middle grade March TBR hopefuls. I have never participated in middle grade March. I do read middle grade on occasion, but I've never kind of made a plan to do it in March, and so I decided to give it a try. I also think that this is going to pair with some of my other TBR hopefuls that I have in March, which I will talk to you guys about in my next video, but today is all about the middle grade. So I wanted to talk to you guys about 5 middle grade books that I am curious about. I know one of them everyone is going to know about, but the others I haven't heard a lot of people talk about them. And so I want to know your thoughts. I want to know if you have other things that you think I should read. If you've read these and you loved them or you hated them, I want to know that in the comments down below. Please let me gather all the minds to figure out what middle grade I should read. I don't know that I'm going to get to all 5 of these in March. That is the plan, obviously, but I know I have some other books that have been waiting on my TBR and things that I know are going to take me a little bit longer, which is one of the reasons I am kind of happy about the fact that I'm picking up some middle grade books in March as well, because I do have some books planned that are going to take a lot of brain power, and so I think it's going to be nice to have a little bit of a brain break as well. I will start with the first book that I know probably everyone has already heard of, but I have never read it myself, and that is Nevermoor. So just a little bit of the synopsis if you guys haven't heard of this. It says, a cursed girl escapes death and finds herself in a magical world, but it is then tested beyond her wildest imaginations. Morgan Crow is cursed. Having been born on Eventide, the unluckiest day for any child to be born, she's blamed for all of the misfortunes, from hailstorms to heart attacks, and worst of all, the curse means that Morgan is doomed to die at midnight on her 11th birthday. I've heard a ton of people rant and rave about this series, and so I am excited to pick this up. I tend to overlook middle grade, and so I am really happy this year that I am going to participate in middle grade March, because I do think it's going to put it at the forefront of my mind, because most of the middle grades I have picked up, I have adored. And so yeah, I am really excited about this. I think it's going to be amazing. The second book on my TBR is Not Quite a Ghost, and this cover really creeps me out. So this is a middle grade horror, and I have in the past just had mediocre luck with middle grade horror, and so I hope that this one is going to wow me. The storyline, when I read the synopsis of this, it sounds really creepy. It sounds like a family moves into a home. A girl moves into a room with yellow wallpaper, which I don't know if that is referencing the short story Yellow Wallpaper or not, we'll see. But it talks about how she gets sick for a really long time. Nobody knows what's happening. All of her friends kind of abandon her, and there might be something else in the room with her. So I don't know. I think it sounds creepy, and I'm fascinated with middle grade horror because they just seem like two things that shouldn't go together. And so I'm intrigued to see how this author handles it. The next book is Extra Normal, and this is by the same author that wrote What Lies in the Woods, I think is what it's called, which is an adult thriller, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't like not all-time favorite thriller, but I like the pairing of middle grade writers with also adult writers. I think it's very fascinating to see what an author does in such separate genres, and so I am excited to get to this one, especially because this is another middle grade horror. And the synopsis, the very first line, it says, this chilling middle grade is perfect for fans of Stranger Things and scary stories to tell in the dark. So that right there excites me. It says Charlie Greer is nothing special, at least not compared to her adopted siblings. Her brother is a ghost. Her brother Mateo is a werewolf. Her younger sister is a ghost. Her brother Mateo is a werewolf. Gideon is the product of seriously sketchy experiments that gave him telekinetic powers. Even her parents work for the Division of Extranormal Investigations, tracking down all things supernatural, alien, and otherwise. But it seems like Charlie doesn't actually have any powers. And so I like that dynamic. I think it's going to be fun. The cover gives me slight Goosebumps vibes, which I'm also kind of pleased with. So yeah, this is another one I'm excited about. The next book is Illuminations by T. Kingfisher, because I had to. I had to put a T. Kingfisher on this. The last T. Kingfisher middle grade that I read was a Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking, I think is what it was called, and I had such a good time with it. It was so funny. I like T. Kingfisher's humor a lot, and so seeing that in a middle grade environment and kind of like these snarky little kids was just a lot of fun. And so I don't know if that's gonna be the same vibe as this book, but I like the premise of this. It says Rosa Mandolini knows that in her heart that her family are the greatest painters of magical illuminations in the city, but the eccentric studio has fallen on hard times. While trying to help her family, Rosa discovers a magical box protected by a painted crow, but when she finds a way to open the box, she accidentally releases the Scarling, a vicious monster determined to destroy the Mandolini family at all cost. With the aid of her former best friend and the painted crow named Pain, it's up to Rosa to stop the Scarling before it unmakes the magical paintings that keep the city running and hopefully save her family in the process. The magical painting aspect of this, I guess the Illuminations, reminds me of Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and I really liked that premise. I like the fact of paintings kind of coming to life and having this impact on the city in some way, and you know, it's T. Kingfisher, so it's gonna be a great time. The last book on this list is The Museum of Lost and Found, and I love books about books. I love books about museums and kind of odd things happening in museums, and this book has that exact thing. It says that we have Vanessa, and Vanessa doesn't know what to do with herself now that her best friend Bailey has left her behind, but when she stumbles upon an empty, forgotten museum, her purpose becomes clear. She starts filling the museum with her own artifacts and memories, hoping that perhaps she can find the right way to tell her story of the broken friendship, and she can figure out how to make it whole again. It sounds really cute, and like I said, I like museum vibes, and yeah, we'll see how Vanessa fares with hopefully the rekindling of a friendship. So those are the 5 middle grade books that I am considering reading in March. I hope I get to all of them. If any of these are books that you've read and you've loved, like I said in the beginning, please let me know in the comments down below. If you have other middle grade that you have enjoyed in the past, let me know that too. Are you participating in middle grade March? What do you guys typically think of middle grade? Do you like a specific genre? Are there specific things that you tend to avoid in middle grade? I would love to chat with you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a lovely evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.